Hi there. Today we're going to go over the new Hoolest VeRelief Prime Generation 3. This just got shipped today. We'll do sort of an overview of how it works, what's different about this version, and what I like about it compared to the version 2. If you haven't experienced this before, these are vagus nerve stimulators. These are very important in use for anxiety relief, imbalances within the nervous system. Our society tends to be more focused on time of delivery more than keeping our nervous system healthy. So this is a really cool tool to be able to help balance the nervous system back into what's called parasympathetic. We have two different kinds of speeds of the nervous system. One is called parasympathetic, which is catchphrase for that is rest and digest, whereas the other one is sympathetic, and that is fight or flight, which many of us stay in, day out because of either work stress, family life, or the combination of. So this is really designed to help balance the nervous system by stimulating the parasympathetic side of things, which will help increase healing rates. It'll decrease the perceived amount of stress. I've found it useful in various applications. I'm a chiropractor by trade with some specialization in the neurological side of things. So I use it in my office almost every day with a variety of different patients. And what we found is that it's really helpful in calming down the nervous system so that somebody can either receive treatment or once they have received treatment for it to stay longer. In addition to that, we found that in home use, this is very powerful in extending those treatment benefits, as well as creating a parasympathetic state of mind that just helps healing of all kinds. So I think this could be useful for just about anybody. We usually don't feel stress happening. Some of us are very in tune with our bodies, and we have certain triggers that we can sense, but others may not even know that it's happening. I myself experienced sympathetic overdrive while going through chiropractic school, and I didn't really know it was happening until I started having physical symptoms. There would be parts of my beard that would grow in clear. My body wasn't making pigment in certain places, and the more I found out about it, the more it was related to sympathetic overdrive. So this was and the reason that I discovered this was because the vagus nerve stimulators at the time were huge. They were about the size of a printer, which had a node that would come out in a wire, and you could use it either right on the side of the vagus nerve on your neck, which you can do with these stimulators, underneath your tongue, or on certain places of the of other nerves in your face. These are much easier to use. They're essentially foolproof. Anyone can use it, and I think there's a wide variety of applications with which they would be useful. What I like about them, in addition to how easy they are to use, is that there's really no downside. There's no negative symptoms that you might experience. The feeling that you'll get is really just a buzzing. If you know you're in the right place, if there's a buzzing in throughout the ear, it'll feel kind of like TV static coming into your ear. And that's how you know you're in the right place. You can leave it on. They recommend in their user manual to leave it on for about 5 minutes, depending on what's happening. And there's different modes that you can use to pair with breath, which can also help stimulate the vagus nerve from your diaphragm. The old version 2, looks like this. It was a very handheld little device. It comes with a magnetic cap, so it turns on as soon as you take the cap off. Included are these little gel tips right here. These are where you're going to apply it to different sites. There's a right behind your earlobe. There's the site of where they recommend to place it for the vagus nerve. There's also another one in and around the cervical spine, down lower. This is probably the easiest to find on yourself, just because it matches up pretty closely to your earlobe. There's a variety of different settings. There's a negative and a positive button that you can use to increase or decrease the amount of stimulation coming from each of the modes. I've only had to charge this probably twice since I bought it, and I use it frequently throughout the week on various patients. So the battery does hold up very well. It's a rugged little case. It feels kind of like textured metal, and it's very easy to transport. I keep it in my carry-on when traveling. It's very useful when I'm about to give a speech or if there's a big event that I'm anxious about. So it's very nice to have this available to just kind of put me in a parasympathetic state of mind so I can think more clearly. The nice thing about it too is if you want to turn it off, all you have to do is put the cap back on. Upkeep is very simple as well. They supplied various other gel tips, and all you need to do to keep those tips hydrated is to use the little hydration gel. All you do is put a couple drops on there, and I shake around in there. And that's about it. Besides charging, it is very simple. They have a little clip so that it can stay in your luggage with you or next to your bed. This is very nice when for people that are having sleep issues. You can help downshift your brain into a state of parasympathetic, which helps to make it easier to fall asleep or to stay asleep. And we've used it on, like I said, various applications throughout the office, either before or after treatment, and also sessions afterwards at the person's disposal to be able to use to prolong the effects of therapy. Just shipped, these are the new ones. This is the version 3, very similar to the version 2. It is not textured metal anymore, and they got rid of the strap on top, mainly because you probably can just keep it wherever in a pocket. It's very small. It's about half the size of my cell phone. This is, for comparison, what this looks like. And it also works the same way. As soon as you take the cap off, it'll turn on, and you'll see an indicator as to how much stimulation is coming just from the mode that you're on. The positive and negative stay true, and if you push positive, it'll increase the stimulation, which will show up as you on the LED indication. Same kind of upkeep. They do supply the tips, and what's new in this version also is they have, for first timers, they have a sensitive tip. So if you're nervous about it, if you're sensitive to stimulation, or you just don't like the idea of vibration happening in your ear, but you do want to achieve the benefits of this, they supplied a sensitive tip for you to use for your first time until you work up to be able to use it. I think this is a very good idea. Although I've never had someone experience anything adverse or didn't think that it was a pleasant experience. But if you're nervous about it, they supply that. The charging cable is USB-C, and they do supply that, and the battery lasts forever. So I'm very excited that they kept a lot of things the same. While I think the major difference that they've adapted to was there is no more foam on the inside of the cap that you got with the first model, or the version 2. So there's this foam in there, which tended to absorb some of the moisture of the tips, which I think dried them out quicker while keeping them stable. But I never had a problem with them moving around, even when I was traveling. So the new one does not have the foam on the top, which will probably prolong the life of the tips. They also have changed around their modes a little bit. There are still 5 modes, and you can use them on 3 different nerves, to my knowledge. One is the vagus nerve, the other is the median nerve. So if you're traveling and you experience motion sickness, you can use this right over your wrist, which helps to decrease that sensation. It'll still feel the same way. It'll feel like buzzing or TV static, if you can imagine that, coming into your hand. And it's a pleasant experience. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't feel like it's shocking you in any way. It just kind of feels like a light vibration if you're on the right spot. They do advise not to use this on various parts of your face for obvious reasons. I wouldn't do it over an eyeball. I wouldn't do it over any kind of blood vessel, or if you have a pacemaker or something that provides electric stimulation to you in any way, I wouldn't put it over that. It does help make you feel like someone is just turning the stress down in your body. It's like there's a volume knob that they just turn down. And it's, for most people, that happens pretty quickly. There's really not a a downside to using it longer than the 5 minutes that they recommend, because you can pair it with your breath work, and that helps really just to put you in a more relaxed state for longer. So there really isn't a downside to using this longer than the 5 minutes, and they walk you through exactly how to do that in their user guide, which I think is very well written. It's very easy to understand. It gives you plenty of advice on how to use it, when to use it, and also there may be some applications that are just undiscovered as of yet. I just wanted to share that today because it just came in. They're very well made. There's not a texture to the case anymore, but it still feels pretty rugged. I'd have no hesitation putting this into a carry-on or even in my pocket while I'm traveling. It's a very nice case to bring with me. Inside the box, in addition to those tips and the charging cable, they give you a soothing hydration gel. You can use this right over the spots on your neck or on your wrist before you put it on. Let's say your tip is drying out and you just want to make sure that you get the most benefit. They supply this as well, which helps to provide a better application of the therapy. And that's pretty much it. It's been very helpful to a lot of people that never really felt what parasympathetic state is like. And for me, as both a user and the application of it, I think it's easy to use. It's very portable. I don't think there's anything else out on the market that is nearly as good as this product when it comes to parasympathetic stimulation. There's no side effects to it. There's really no downside. It's priced very well. There was a pre-sale going, and you can find that at Hoolest.com. It's a very well-researched company, and I think they believe in their product very well, so they created one that's good for both practitioners and for patients alike. So check them out. It could be right for you, even if you're someone that's never had a treatment like that before. It's a very good start into feeling what parasympathetic stimulation is like in a way that just helps healing, digesting. If you're having trouble sleeping, it's really good. Motion sickness. If you're into meditation, it's a really good pair with that. Any kind of breath work is really, they guide you through it in the guidebook, which is, I think, really helpful. I just wanted to give this a quick review. I think the major differences are the way in which the case is designed and how they structured the modes. And all those are very well detailed in the user manual, and I think they did a great job. I'll probably do another long-term review once I've had this for a while, but initial thoughts are that it is worth the money, and it's very pleasant to use. So hope this helps you, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My website is alphaliftx.com. My name is Patrick McCabe. I am a doctor of chiropractic here in Dallas, Texas, and I'd be happy to help you with any questions you have about parasympathetic stimulation or the nervous system in general. Have a wonderful day, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.